Hey, it's Willie Armelini from Flowers and Scents with your industry buzz. Okay, this week we're going to interview Victor Giorgini from Equiflor Corporation, home of the Rio Rose. Rio Rose is something special. I mean, they've been promoting a rose and branding the rose since the very beginning. And I wanted to talk to Victor because Victor has been around a long time, and so have I. And I thought we would see what's up with Rio Rose. So, without further ado, Victor Giorgini. All right, Victor Giorgini from the Equiflor Corporation, Rio Rose. Welcome to Flowers and Scents, and good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Willie. I'm glad to be here.
So, look, you and I, and more specifically, Equiflor and I, go back a long way to the beginning, in fact, because
yes, it is.
I was already in Miami working at Flower Service and at Armelini when Tony decided to start that business, I believe, in 86. Am I right?
That is correct. Actually, he started February of 86 working from his car after he left Southern Rainbow. And he wasn't Southern, he was the president of Southern Rainbow for over 7 years.
That's right. That's right. I was trying to remember where exactly he came from. Right. He came from Casado's operation there, right?
I started working under Tony's direction in Southern Rainbow in 1980.
Okay. All right. So then he started 86 when he started Equiflor?
February of 86, he started making deals and got a partner. Remember Hanford? I can remember his his first name Hanford. Right now.
Yes, in North Carolina, that guy.
That is correct. That is correct. And they were partners for some time, and then they split up. But Tony created Equiflor, and from the very beginning, he tried to use his marketing savvy. I mean, for many things, one of his virtues was marketing. He was ahead of the game all the time.
Big time. And
we miss him. I got to tell you, we miss him because in marketing, I haven't found anybody as creative as him.
No, he was good at it and sort of baffled all of us because we weren't quite sure what the heck he was doing. You're going to brand a rose? You can't do that. And I suspect most people do not know the origin of Equiflor to the extent that Equiflor is from horses.
That is correct.
I believe his ex-wife or something was involved in horses, and
Marie Sarandes was definitely into horses. She used to have horses, riding horses, and she was very involved in that part of the business. I was not very familiar with it, but I know they were to the point that at one point they got a ranch in Ocala.
Ocala, yeah.
Yes, and he had a ranch in Ocala for quite a few years where they were doing what is called yearlings, and they were getting the babies, and you know, by the time they reach a year, they will sell them.
Oh yeah, horses is big business, but yeah, that was always interesting that his relationship with horses there, naming the company after it. But more, you know. But Tony, you're right. Tony was he and I went round and around a lot of things, but he was so clever and sort of very straightforward. He was you know, he didn't mince his words. He knew what mission he was on.
He always had an objective. In that regard, he used to have an incredible discipline. He used to put many hours in the office and out of the office, trying to find the next, you know, marketing strategy. And you know, most people or all people know us as Rio Roses, but the first flower we brand was Rio de Loro chrysanthemums. We had a joint venture with Flores de Colombia many years ago when Equiflor first started. I was not with him yet. And then the next thing we brand, which it was early 91, was Florated Carnations,
right.
Where we had a special grade where the flowers were above a select grade. We were guaranteeing a certain length, a certain size of flower, but the measurement was that each bunch of flowers will weigh 1 kilo.
Really?
Yes, and they were monsters. I have to tell you, they were incredible carnations, and they sold to the point that we created a waiting list that was more than 3 years. Then the carnation market changed, and people didn't want to spend that kind of money. It was expensive to ship, and it was expensive to grow.
Yeah. Well, look, Equiflor has always been on the edge of
We have tried.
different things, I guess. Always in the quest of selling more flowers and with quality as the sort of the benchmark. Even through and Equiflor was never afraid to do things. You were an FTD partner for a while. You were
That is correct.
doing all sorts of things, but I think the major thing you guys did was brand a rose. Okay.
Well, we did a few things for a better part of almost 2 decades before Tony sold us the company, and after Tony sold the company to Raul Marrero, Nicolas Trujillo, and myself. We concentrated on educating people. We were kind of a three-legged stool. We will bring flowers, produce flowers, do marketing, and do education, all mixed together, and selling, high quality flowers. The business has changed a lot, and since 2008, a lot of things got changed dramatically. But for a very long time, we created what was called Rio Rose University. And in Rio Rose University, we used to do all throughout the summer meetings where we will have between buyers, salespeople from wholesale houses, or owners. We did seminars where they will come to Miami. They will pay their way to Miami. We will give them all the classes. It was a 3-day course that started on a Tuesday. It ended on a Thursday afternoon. And all of the managers of Equiflor were the teachers, were the ones providing the courses. And we all had to read books, and we all had to study our piece of the, when you become a teacher, you become a student. Yes. And we did that for a very long time. As a matter of fact, in the early 2000s, we did 3 different Rio Rose Universities national, where we did one in Memphis, we did one in Atlanta, where we had an excess of 600 people come in. We will go to a hotel. Wow. And we will boss people from different places. It was amazing. And again, we normally used to have a keynote speaker, somebody that was, like Herb Mitchell, somebody that was known by the industry, but we will draw between wholesalers and retailers probably a good 600 people. Wow. And again, the Equiflor team put it all together. The Equiflor team was the teachers. We all presented on things. My specialty was a presentation that I did for a long time, was called The Birth of a Rose, and explained all of the steps from the creation and breeding of a rose, all of the steps, all the way to taking it to a retailer, everything that was involved. And we all had about a 2-hour slot every day, and every day we presented on different things.
Well, yes, I remember the Equiflor, your Rio Rose University. Yeah, that was
that is correct.
That's like a convention. 600 people is a real convention.
Oh yeah. It was very large, and we spent a lot of money on those things because they will pay again. They will pay their way. We will negotiate a great room rate. They will pay the room rate, and we will provide all the food. Breakfast, lunch, and dinners throughout. That was on a weekend. That was usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hey, it's an ambitious project, and moving on, you have done something terribly ambitious that I've talked to you about. You created a monthly magazine.
That is correct.
Live Rio is quite an undertaking. I'm told you a lot of times that I'm impressed that you pulled that off. First of all, anything monthly is hard. Anything in print is hard, and getting the content to do what you wanted to do or are doing. It's tough stuff and expensive as well.
It is, but we grew up with Tony with guerrilla warfare. We get very creative. We do, a lot with very little, and we still try to do that. And I have to be quite honest, even though 2008 is already far away and most people recover, the financial dynamics of the business after 2008 change. And it continues to change. We get more competitive. You got better flowers. So I am, in that regard, I'm a very strong supporter. I'm a very strong believer of education. I am. I like to be involved in education. I like to do whatever we can. Today, and obviously in the pandemic era and social media era, it's a lot easier. Even though it takes a great effort and I have a great team, it's a lot easier to put the magazine together than to create conventions and draw people in it.
Yeah.
Okay. The financial dynamics is no longer there, if you know what I mean. And especially after the pandemic.
Yeah, well, as somebody, coming from many, many years of Armelini get-togethers and conventions, I know how hard they are, how much work they are, trying to put them together and orchestrate them and have them be entertaining and educational and all the above is no small undertaking.
I like to add, Willie, that Live Rio, which is the name of the e-magazine, we are already on our third year. We haven't skipped a beat yet. And we come out every month. We usually come out every month around the middle of the month, and we try to provide, ideas, information, refresh, again, education for whatever's coming down the pipe.
And who gets the magazine? Whoever wants it, or what?
The magazine is intended to showcase wholesalers, to showcase breeders. We always showcase a wholesaler. We always showcase a breeder. And the magazine is intended to do pull through, to be honest, through retailers and event planners. Right now, the list of recipients is about 9,000. And the click-through, it exceeds 30%, which is very good for the type of marketing we do.
It's only an online magazine, right? It's online magazine.
It's only online.
Right.
It's only online. We looked into the dynamics of printing and delivering, and it's the numbers don't work
anymore. It doesn't work anymore.
The numbers don't work.
No. Well, it's an impressive magazine for sure.
Thank you.
And well done. And I was just looking over the website, and it's just full of pretty pictures, frankly. I'm sure more than that, but that's what struck me. It's just full of pretty pictures. The covers are really nice. What do you got up your sleeve?
We have a team that works really hard. And to be honest with you, again, multiple managers in the company get involved. It's not just one person doing it, even though I have to take my hat off to our marketing manager because she is the one that leads the project. Certainly, we cannot do the magazine without her.
So what do you got up your sleeve now? What's going on? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, what I can share is we're looking at the future. We're trying to figure it out. What is the next step? We are definitely trying to grow our farms. We do have some things that were put on hold with this new normal, because even the challenges that we're facing in the United States are being faced right now. In Ecuador and Colombia and Costa Rica is not easy. It's hard. We're having a hard time to find people in Colombia to handle Mother's Day. There is a shortage of workers. The closer you are to Bogota, the harder it is to find people. You have a lot of competition to find workers, and we're experiencing something new, and it's logical. In the past, throughout the last few decades, usually a very high percentage of the sons and daughters of the people that work in the farm will come to work at the farm.
Right.
They no longer want to do that. I mean, it's you know, they have different set of ambitions. They look at different things. And again, going back to competition, you got a lot of factories that have opened up near farms, you know, that you know, process beer, that you know, make mattresses, different working conditions, and in some cases they can afford to pay a little more than just the minimum salary.
Than the flower companies, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But looking ahead, we will continue to expand. We about a decade ago, right after 2008, we made a conscious decision to diversify on very difficult to produce products. You know, ranunculus, anemonas, delphiniums, they're very challenging, but it is the way to go, and we have done very well. We have a good following. The pandemic created chaos because a lot of the breeders just shut down the labs,
right,
and they did not reproduce any more materials, and we've been struggling to get back to normal. But I see ourselves being back to normal, hopefully sometime around this summer with all of our crops. And again, looking for new products, keep promoting education, and hopefully being able to grow our farms a little bit.
Hey, Victor, in Holland, you know, I've spent a lot of time in Holland and watched that evolution there when they had workers that wanted to work in the greenhouses, to the point where then there wasn't workers, and they automated just about everything. Some of those big greenhouses, you go in and they're acres and acres, and they're run by four people or something, and a bunch of computers.
Oh, yes, you have the grading machines, and now you have machines that are doing certain type of work on the plants. I mean, that has advanced a lot. It's just the financial dynamics of implementing that on a plastic greenhouse,
right.
You know, where the floor is still dirt, not concrete like in Holland. The financial dynamics of doing something near that is difficult. We are already looking into grading machines,
right,
because the challenge, be honest with you, the challenge so far has become the holidays.
Yeah, meeting the demand for the holidays.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Well, speaking of holidays, Mother's Day, well, Easter, and then Mother's Day is right upon us here. What's your thought process? Everything.
Well, it's going to be an interesting Mother's Day. There is a lot of misinformation out there, and I don't think it's misinformation purposely created. It's just that everybody is taking a different position based on current circumstances. You know, I can understand why in our industry, including ourselves, have a certain level of concern, uncertainty, because of, you know, the cost of the impact of inflation, you know, the cost in fuel, the cost of the flowers, the fact that we are going to pay probably, in my history in the business that exceeds 40 years, the highest freight we have ever paid out of every origin for flowers, even higher than Valentine's. And I have to say, it's concerning. It's concerning. And
Yeah,
also,
for sure,
production costs has gone through the roof, and it's a concerning situation. And I have personally talked to multiple retailers and wholesalers, and everybody is playing it safer than they have done for the last 18 months.
Yeah, that's not good for pull through, yeah, and for getting things moving. Everybody then waits to the last minute, and then it gets harder and harder to make the work.
Oh, my biggest concern, and again, I can't predict what consumers are going to do or not going to do, but my biggest concern is that, you know, we have a tendency as an industry to have kind of a crowd mentality. You know, if you think you're going to fail, unconsciously, you're going to do everything that you're going to do to fail, okay? Kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And in my opinion, my biggest concern is that, believe it or not, there is a chance, because of all the crazy weather we have experienced everywhere, that in some cases we may run short. we may run short. I don't know yet, because we have what we call the tipping point on Equiflor. 5% increment in production can throw prices off completely, more than 20%, and vice versa. A little less production than what's expected. If the demand is there, which is the key, it will shoot prices up, or we will not have enough to cover pre-books. That's the challenging right now.
Hey, I'm going to throw a little curveball. What about floral board? You behind that, or?
I tell you the truth, I am, and I understand that there are a lot of people concerned about it, and I wish to have an opportunity to talk to some of those people that are concerned about it, so I can understand the point of view. Really, we have been a great believer of Buzz the Bee, for those that have been in the industry long enough to remember it, to the point that when Buzz the Bee was abandoned, we picked it up.
Yeah, I know. You probably still have it.
No, not anymore. We gave it up. We tried to give it to associations and all of that, and people have just, too long. We tried to push it and promote it. That's okay. Back to Buzz the Bee. Buzz the Bee was pretty much discontinued when it was starting to make an effect.
Yeah.
There were even a lot of people in the industry that were sad to see him go, because I don't think we gave it enough time.
I agree.
Right now, what I know, I'm not involved directly in floorboard. I have been to some of the presentations and meetings, but what I know so far, it's no different than going after, the promotional orders like Gut Milk, California Raisins, or the floral board is trying to get the avocados, which, as I understand, they have gone about a $17 return for every dollar they put in, okay, which is incredible. Now you see avocados everywhere, from avocado toast to avocado milkshakes, and everything in between. And quite honestly, I understand the flowers are not, consumed the same way avocados are, but at the end of the day, during the pandemic and before the pandemic, every study that we have, we know the benefits of flowers. The benefits of flowers are real, okay? And I have to tell you that personally, I believe that a high tide raises all ships, especially the ones that are going to benefit are the ones that have the most flowers. When the tide starts going up.
Oh, yeah.
We have never, and I tell you, we, for a very long time, and we still today, have always had a very ambitious budget to promote education and, by default, flower consumption.
Sure.
The industry hasn't done anything.
No, in general.
Even this past Valentine's, e-commerce that usually promotes flowers to promote order, they didn't, because of all of the challenges they were expected to be, and after that they were down. And I don't know if this number is true. Again, misinformation. I was told that e-commerce was down by 40%. We don't participate in e-commerce. We don't do anything, but I heard that number. I don't know if it's true. And I honestly believe that with social media, you can reach a lot more people on their phone promoting flowers and promoting consumption and promoting the benefits of flowers. I am, if you ask, the answer is I'm a believer.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm glad, and your perspective. And on a side note there, I'm really impressed and I don't know, happy that people like Eric Fernandez and Oscar and are way behind this. I keep admitting that I'm sort of the old guy in the business now or something, or getting to be there. And I see these young guys coming in and their enthusiasm is quite infectious. I love it. I'm happy to see that
I completely, really, I completely agree with you. That's why I push Oscar. Oscar is younger than I am. I'm beginning to be the old guard, not the young kids anymore.
Yeah, we are.
And we need the younger people to be involved. We need the younger people to not get involved at all levels on the industry, not just in floral board, to support WUPSA, to support SAF. We need younger blood in the business. Okay, we all guys have the experience, but we don't have all the answers, and things are changing quickly.
Yeah, and then our time is somewhat limited. We'll be here for a while, but yeah, and as well, I would like to. I'm not sure if this is right. Thank you. I mean, because you have been a big part of the industry for a long time, and stuck with it and brought good things to the business. So I'm applauding you.
Thank you very much. It's not just me. I have a great team. I have always been blessed with great people that are very, very involved and very much to sell good quality products and to try to educate everyone, in the industry. So from that regard, Willie, I thank you.
Well, anyway, we have Raul. Raul is off into the sunset. I see him having fun. I think he retired, and Nick is in Ecuador, I guess. And you're here still. You and I are still here, Nick.
I'm still holding the flag, man.
All right. Hey, listen, I thank you for your time. I've been looking forward to this interview for a while, and I thank you for your time. And good. Rio's a special company, so I'm happy for you.
Willie, thank you very much. Also, I don't like to be in the spotlight, but I think it was well worth it. I appreciate it.
As I try to keep these interviews very personal and as they are, this is not, we're not reinventing anything. We're just having a discussion about somebody that we've been in the business a long time, and we've seen a lot of water under the bridge. And in fact, I'm actually writing a book about it. I decided to write a book about all my experiences. So I'm
great.
Busy writing and trying
look forward to read it.
Well, someday you will. It's I first had to look up what is a book, this I said I'm writing a book, but I'm not sure it takes 1 page or 100 pages to make it a book. But the reality is, as long as it's bound in a cover, it's a book. So
that's great.
That's the definition. All right, Victor, thank you for your time and have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Willie. You too. Okay, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.